Financial services customers are increasingly using their banks for insurance cover. It's no longer a given that they'll source insurance from the traditional insurance players. This happens as banks have begun a process of diversification in the products and services they offer, while keeping their banking services as their mainstay. Well, to find out more about this trend and other consumer shifts, I'm joined by Chris de Klerk. He's the head of insurance and investments broking at Standard Bank. Thank you very much, Chris, for joining us. So when did you start seeing a trend of banks offering insurance services such as funeral, life cover, etc.?
Thank you, Nompu. I think it's been a trend that's been there for a number of years. In fact, it goes back to the early 1990s. It's really since 2019 that we've seen a significant shift, particularly in the lower value insurance policies.
So you've noticed that consumers are increasingly turning to their banks for insurance cover, partly due to the convenience of being able to apply for services online.
Yes, correct. But I think also it's been the embracement of the banks as well to take on products other than just banking solutions. So we've seen more banks offering more services like airtime, like insurance, like non-banking services. And there's more channels for them to offer it through. There's digital channels, and there's online, and then the reach of the branches as well. It's a major factor to play.
Yeah. So for a while now, there have been concerns raised that families have tended to focus solely on having funeral cover in the event of death without much consideration for ensuring that there's a little something left behind for their loved ones or their dependents. Are you seeing a change in that trend?
So very interestingly, part of the methodology that we're seeing from our insurance companies is that they provide calculators and tools for clients to ascertain what the appropriate level of cover is. So yes, funeral cover is relatively well understood, but it's made up of memorial benefits, a tombstone benefit, airtime benefits, and other cover benefits so in explaining that to customers, they're getting a better sense of what they need to provide for in the event of something happening. And as always, we advocate, speak to a financial advisor, take the time out to properly assess your needs and requirements. Funeral insurance should be the start of the journey.
Yeah. So insurance is often termed as a grudge purchase for many, but given what could be at stake in the event of having no cover, what are your observations around policy lapses?
In the insurance industry, we've encouragingly seen, we know that this year has been a particularly tough year, the last 2-3 years for SA consumers. But the lapse rates, the cancellation rates on funeral policies have improved actually over the last year, which is really encouraging because I think that speaks to people better appreciating the value of the cover they have and prioritizing the payment of those premiums over other demands on their financial incomes.
South Africa has been, quite a tough space for many consumers, many of whom don't have a steady income due to high unemployment and a trend now for part-time working. What are some of the opportunities for people like those? They're still human beings, they still have needs and wants. What sort of cover can they get given the intermittent income?
So, Nampu, part of what we're seeing, and that's part of also the reason for the increase in insurance that we're seeing in the funeral market space, is that providers are being more dynamic in their product design to support clients who have irregular incomes. So most funeral products that you'll see that allow premium holidays now, they allow you to miss premiums. Some products allow you even to not have to catch up the premiums that you've missed, or the cover varies depending on how much you paid. So there's more acknowledgement from providers that yes, there are many of our clients don't have a steady income, and in some months it'll be harder to pay than others.
So in the meantime, do you know of any collaborative work that's being done by the insurance sector to ensure that unrelated persons or even related persons are not being insured for negative ulterior motives? Or is that an almost impossible task? And of course, I say this in light of the terrible stories that we've been hearing about people insuring others with view to killing them so that they can benefit.
So that may be a topic for another discussion. I think there are incidences of those, and they've been well ventilated in the public domain. At the core of the funeral insurance is the need to provide for your loved ones and those who are dependent on you in the event of something happening to you. And for many clients, especially breadwinners in a community and in a family, it's really important that you make provision for something happening. And in the majority of those cases that you refer to, there's a real insurable interest there that needs to be validated and provided for by providers.
Yeah, no, indeed, that must have been a bit of a curveball for you, but of course it is very topical right now. And since we're talking about insurance, I thought I'd swing it your way. Thank you so much, Chris, for your insights there. That was Chris de Klerk. He's the head of insurance and investments broking at Standard Bank.